Queen Elizabeth had a way of making her wishes known without ever raising her voice, and according to the rumours now spreading through royal circles, her very last one may have carried a sting that nobody saw coming, because sources suggest that in the final months before her death, the late Queen left behind a private instruction, a wish, a directive, call it what you will, and the whispers claim it quietly stepped around Camilla entirely, while placing William at the centre of something the palace never expected. None of this has been confirmed by Buckingham Palace, and I want to be crystal clear about that from the first sentence. But the fact that the story refuses to die tells you something about how raw this particular nerve still is. And if you're new here, hit subscribe, because the royal story never stops moving, and you don't want to miss where this one goes. Let's start with what's actually being claimed, because the rumour itself is slippery. The story going around, and again this is speculation not fact, is that Queen Elizabeth, in her final stretch, issued some kind of private wish regarding the future of the monarchy, and that this wish reportedly leapt straight over Camilla to land on William's shoulders. Not Charles being bypassed. Charles is king, that's settled, that's history. The claim is narrower and stranger than that. Rumours suggest the late Queen wanted certain things preserved for William directly, certain roles, certain properties, certain expectations, and that Camilla was allegedly left out of that particular calculation entirely. Whether any such order exists, the palace has said nothing, which the rumour mill of course reads as confirmation, because silence always gets read as confirmation when people have already decided what they want to believe. Here's where it gets complicated though, and this is the part that makes the whole story so hard to pin down. Two things are being asked of us at the same time, and they don't quite fit together. On one hand, the rumour wants us to believe that Elizabeth deliberately, pointedly, cut Camilla out of some final arrangement, a snub encoded into royal procedure, a message from beyond. On the other hand, everything we can actually verify points in the opposite direction. Because here's a fact, plainly stated and not in dispute. Queen Elizabeth publicly expressed in her Platinum Jubilee message in February 2022 her sincere wish that Camilla be known as Queen Consort when Charles became king. That's not a rumour, that's not a tabloid invention. That was a written statement released by the palace in the Queen's own name. So the story of a secret order leaving Camilla out has to somehow coexist with a public, documented blessing that did the exact opposite. And those two things can't both be fully true. Something has to give. So why does the rumour persist anyway? That's the question that actually matters. And the answer tells you more about us than it does about the Queen. The receipts, such as they are, don't come from any secret document. They come from atmosphere. They come from decades of people watching this family and deciding what they already believe. Because for a certain slice of the public, the idea that Elizabeth secretly favoured William over Camilla isn't something they need evidence for. It's something they want to be true. It confirms a story they've been telling themselves for years, that the old Queen, whatever she said in public, was really keeping the line safe for the grandson everyone adored. And that's the thing about a rumour like this. It doesn't survive because there's proof. It survives because it flatters a feeling people already had. Now here's the part nobody really wants to say out loud. The reason this story has legs isn't Camilla at all. It's William. Because the quiet truth underneath all of this is that a lot of people have already, emotionally, skipped a generation in their heads. They see Charles as a placeholder. They see William as the future they're actually waiting for. And a rumour that says the late Queen felt the same way, that she reportedly reached past the current arrangement to secure something for William directly, gives that feeling a royal endorsement. It lets people believe their own preference was Elizabeth's preference too. That's why the story keeps getting reworded and reposted and reshaped. It's not really about a document, it's about permission. But why now? Why has this particular rumour surged at this particular moment years after the Queen's passing? And this is where I keep getting stuck. Elizabeth has been gone since September 22. Charles has been crowned. Camilla has been crowned beside him, anointed, curtsied to, established in every practical institutional sense. The question of Camilla's place is settled. So why, at the exact moment when the matter should be closed, does a story emerge insisting that the late Queen secretly wanted it otherwise? If I were trying to protect the monarchy's stability, this is the last conversation I'd want reopened. The whole point of a coronation is that it ends the argument. And yet here we are, allegedly relitigating Elizabeth's private wishes as if the ink on the crown weren't dry. The uncomfortable thing is that pieces of this can be partly true without the dramatic version being true at all. It can be true that Elizabeth was extraordinarily close to William. That's well documented. She took a visible personal interest in his preparation to one day be king. It can be true that she thought carefully about the long line of succession, about William and George, about the century of monarchy stretching past her own lifetime. And it can also be true that she publicly and repeatedly welcomed Camilla into the fold. All of that can sit together. What the rumour does is take the first thing, Elizabeth's genuine investment in William, and quietly weaponize it into a snub against Camilla that was never stated, never confirmed, and frankly, runs against her own recorded words. That's the sleight of hand. A real closeness gets spun into an invented exclusion. And this is where the generational split becomes impossible to ignore, because the public reaction breaks cleanly along age lines. People who lived through the Diana years, who remember the Panorama interview, who watched the whole marriage collapse in real time. A lot of them hear secret order leaving Camilla out and lean in because it fits the older story they never quite let go of. For them, the idea of Elizabeth quietly protecting William is emotionally satisfying in a way that has very little to do with 2020 and everything to do with 1997. Younger viewers, the ones who only know Camilla as the woman who's simply always been there beside Charles, tend to shrug. To them, she's just the queen. The word consort is a technicality they've never thought hard about. So the same rumour lands as a bombshell for one generation and a nothing burger for another, and both are reacting less to the claim itself than to the memories they carry into it. Here's the two things that can't both be true at the heart of it, stated plainly. Either Elizabeth's public words meant what they said, that she wished Camilla to stand as Queen Consort, fully, without asterisk, or there was a secret, contradictory instruction that quietly undercut those very words. You can believe the public blessing was real, or you can believe in the secret snub. It's genuinely hard to hold both, and every time someone repeats the rumour as if it were established, they're implicitly asking you to decide that the Queen's own documented statement was the lie, and the unconfirmed whisper was the truth. That's a remarkable thing to ask. It means trusting the ghost of a rumour over a signed message from the woman herself. Because that's really what's happening. When you claim a secret order against Camilla, you're arguing with Elizabeth, not with the palace, not with Charles, with the late Queen's own recorded wishes. And she isn't here to clarify. She can't step forward and say what she meant, can't add context, can't confirm or deny. So the rumour gets to speak in her place, putting words and intentions into the mouth of someone who left a very different set of words behind. And there's something almost unfair about that, dressing up speculation in a dead monarch's authority because she can't correct the record. The one voice that could actually settle this is the one voice permanently silent. And yet the story keeps circling back, doesn't it? No matter how many times you point at that Platinum Jubilee statement, because a rumour like this doesn't run on logic, it runs on longing. It runs on a public that has already, quietly, placed its hope in William and wants to believe the grandmother they loved placed hers there too. The receipts that actually exist, the Jubilee message, the coronation, Camilla anointed and crowned, those are real, documented, verifiable. The secret order is not, but the secret order feels truer to the people who want it, and feeling has a way of outrunning fact in stories like this one. So what happens now? Probably nothing. Institutionally, the palace won't dignify the rumour with a response, because responding would only feed it. Charles and Camilla will carry on exactly as they have. William will keep doing what he's always done, waiting quietly in a future that everyone else is already impatient to reach. And the story of the secret order will drift back below the surface, not resolved, just resting until the next quiet moment, when someone decides to say, Elizabeth wanted it this way, and it all stirs again. Because here's the thing, the whole episode really reveals this was never about a document. It was about the sound of a decision that was never announced, a wish people are certain they can hear, echoing in the space where the Queen used to speak. And that's the image I keep coming back to. Somewhere in a quiet room at Balmoral, they say an old woman thought carefully about a future she wouldn't live to see and set her wishes down. What those wishes actually were, we may never truly know, but listen closely enough and you can almost hear it. Not a horn, not a proclamation, just the faint sound of a page being turned in a room, now empty, a decision made and never spoken, waiting for people who will keep insisting forever that they know exactly what it said